Hi there. What about joining me for some island hopping on Bavaria's largest lake? Let's see. Been living in Munich for about 25 years by now and have never tried this. It's quite crowded here on the upper deck. You can also sit inside below, but I think here we got a much better view. Okay. Departure.
Schifffahrt begrüßen wir Sie herzlich auf der MS Bertha. Die Fahrt geht vom Prienstock zur Herreninsel, zur Fraueninsel und weiter nach Gstaad, die Insel vom West. Wer jetzt noch einen Fahrschein benötigen, kann diesen jetzt unter der Karte.
First station, Herreninsel, the gentleman's island. After about 15 minutes boat ride, it's much more crowded than I expected, I have to say. Maybe it's because of the Oktoberfest, which is happening right now in Munich, which is about 60 kilometers from here. By the way, I didn't mention the name of this lake. It's called the Chiemsee. And as I said, it's Bavaria's largest lake. At least when you only consider the lakes that are completely in Bavaria. After a 10-minute walk from the harbor, you get to this castle, which is quite impressive, I'd say. It has been built in the late 19th century by Ludwig II. You know, the Neuschwanstein guy. It was planned to resemble Versailles in France, near Paris. And yes, it does have some resemblance. Also, it is much smaller. But as I said, it has never been finished. So while I'm walking around here, I think I should tell you a little bit about where the names of these islands originate and a little bit about the history of these places. So this is the Herreninsel, the gentleman's island. There is also the Fraueninsel, the ladies' island. And the reason they have these names is because there were monasteries. So here there was an, I think, Augustine monastery for monks on the Herreninsel, and on the other one, on the Fraueninsel, there still is a monastery for nuns. So the one on the Fraueninsel, where we are gonna go next, still exists, while this one no longer exists. And the reason actually is that Ludwig II bought this island, you know, to build this palace. And I don't know what he did with the monks. Guess he just kicked them out. Maybe offered some other monastery to them. I don't know. Nice place. Look at all these turtles and iguanas, whatever. Just wondering where my wife is, because I'm not alone here. Came here with my wife. And yeah, it's always difficult when you're filming and you're not alone. So there is, as I said, the Herreninsel, the Fraueninsel, and there's another one, the so-called Cabbage Island. the Fraueninsel. So there's basically one island for each grammatical gender, male, female, and neutral. Okay. So that's where the names originate. But now I think let's get a little bit closer to the actual palace. We didn't get the ticket to get inside because I think it's not that interesting, but let's at least get a little bit closer to that place. So this is a little bit strange to me because when you are at the bottom of the staircase you don't see a lot of this building, but then okay, when you get up, when you go up, you see all of it. What I think many people don't get is this looks like a Baroque palace. Everything, the garden, the building style, all of that symmetry. But this is not really Baroque. It has been built in the late 19th century. So it's just some kind of replica of this original Baroque style. It's called Neo-Baroque. So that's what Ludwig II and his architects really liked, copying styles from history, sometimes even inventing some new styles, some eclectic stuff like Neuschwanstein. Okay, but anyway, this is a really impressive palace here. Let's do a selfie. Okay, that's the backside, which kind of deserves its name because there is not really a lot to see. Yeah, well, quite a nice court, but as you can see here, there are hardly any tourists, and there's another viewing axis where you can see the other side of the island. Oh, something happened. No more water. I guess that this is the former Augustinic monastery. Yeah. Nice place as well. Maybe from what I've been filming so far, you might have gotten a little bit of a wrong impression of this island. So there is a lot of forest as well and some agriculture. Okay, look at that church here. Okay, it's a late Gothic building. Let's see. Oh. Can't even go inside. Okay, so it looks like this is our boat. Not this one. the one over there. This is Cabbage Island. Unfortunately, the public boats won't stop here. It's located between the Ladies Island, where we're going right now, and Gentleman's Island. It is called Cabbage Island because in the past it has been used for cultivating vegetables, mainly cabbage, probably. Here you can see Ladies Island with the monastery. A lot of people are already waiting at the pier to go back, so it's already, I think, 3:30 in the afternoon, and the last boat, the last ferry, goes back at 6 o'clock in the evening. By the way, you pay 13 euros for a round trip, including both of the islands, which is, I would say, quite a fair price. We have arrived. Looks like you can buy some drinks and snacks on the boat as well. Not cheap, but quite reasonable prices. Not really sure what you should see here on Fraueninsel. So we decided to go to the Klosterwirt beer garden. Not really a cheap place. What you can see here is a 11 euro cheesecake. Not really huge. Beer is 6.20. This one as well. And before that my wife had a soup for, I think, 10 euros. I mean, I'm not really surprised because, I mean, that's the way it is when you decide to go to such a place. I wouldn't call it a tourist trap, but it comes close. Yeah, I have to say, quite an idyllic place here. Except all of this goose shit, which I think it is. So I guess the thing you do here on the Fraueninsel is just to walk around. It's much smaller than the Herreninsel. So I think it's just a 10-minute round trip. I guess this is one of the places where you can go inside the monastery, or at least to that church. graveyard. I think I'm not gonna go inside right now. Some really old buildings here. Lots of restaurants here, many of which are already closed because the main season is over. And we're really lucky with the weather today. And there even is a little shop, so there are some people who live on this island. I guess that these are residential buildings. Definitely not the worst place to live. Yeah, what we can see here is the larger part of Chiemsee. All the islands are located in one corner, in the northwestern corner, and that's the larger eastern part of the lake. I have to say that Chiemsee and especially the islands are really amazing, and I'm just wondering why I didn't come here during the past 25 years, living only 60 kilometers from here. What an amazing place here. I've been aware that the island is inhabited not only by nuns, but I didn't expect that many houses, residential houses. I guess that traditionally many of the inhabitants have been artists, but I'm not really sure if this is still the case today, because I guess when you buy a house here, it is probably extremely expensive. I was hoping to get some fish in one of these fish places, but unfortunately all of these are closed. I mean, probably the fish you get there is not from the lake anyway. Okay, so it looks like here you can get one of these fish samples, but let's have a look. So this is what you get for €6, and it's quite good. Nothing special, however. But with a nice view. That's it. Island hopping at Chiemsee. It's highly recommended. You should reserve at least 4 to 5 hours, and if you want to have lunch or dinner, you should reserve even more. Also, I have to say, it's not a place where you come to for the food. Definitely not. I mean, that fish sandwich was quite good and the price was reasonable, but aside from that, well, it's a little bit overpriced. But anyway, I can really highly recommend this tour. When you are in Munich, it's about 60 kilometers, 1 hour drive, and okay, it seems we have music on the boat. Before they start playing, I like to say bye-bye. Hope to see you next time. Okay, here we are. Not really my favorite kind of music, but hey.